Hello investors, I hope today finds you well and that you had a good day trading today. Today was a tough day, definitely had to fight a lot. I felt like I was at war with all the messages and different things that were going on. I had to be making different changes and trying my best to make it a profitable day. Overall, I did have a pretty decent day. I ended up having a 2% gain personally in my own portfolio. I had to make some moves to kind of do that. One is I sold ABEO for a 6% loss. Moved out of that one, but really didn't recover today, so I didn't feel like I really missed out on anything. There were just better opportunities. I just really started to doubt why I was in that one, and I didn't like my reasons good enough, and so I decided to move out of it. And then I sold VXRT. Took a pretty big loss on that one. I really should have held it, and I'll explain why. I sold it to get into other things. I thought I saw an opportunity that didn't end up panning out. I sold SLNO. Now this was a real success, and it had insider activity, so pretty good 23% gain for 3 days of just pressing a button and then pressing another button to sell. So that was a great pick, and it really turned out great. And then I sold right at the end of the day ENDP, and the reasoning being is it just wasn't performing. It wasn't running up, and so that's why I decided to sell it. I did something I kind of talked about, especially early on in these videos, that I don't like, but I've been working at trying to get better at, and that is day trading. I don't do it that often, but I've really been trying to get better just personally, looking for certain indicators and buying and selling that way. There are some different things that I did today, but today specifically I bought and sold Workhorse, WKHS. And I was able to day trade it for a 25% gain today. And I'm going to kind of talk about some of the things that you need in order to do that. First thing, the number one thing, the most important thing is you have to have a strategy with specific buy points and sell points. If you don't have this, do not do it. Do not day trade. You have to have a plan or you will get eaten alive. And you can't get emotional about it. When you see that sell point and you see that sell indicator, you sell no matter what. And when you see the buy indicator, you buy, as long as the setup is a good quality setup. If you pick good setups and you pick a stock that's a good stock, you can really make money doing this. The other thing that's really handy if you're going to day trade stocks is to have more than $25,000 in your account so that you can avoid any kind of PDT rules or any kind of regulations as far as that goes. I always recommend that when you start in a simulator. Start where it's not real money, where you can really kind of test out your strategies. The other thing to do, and that's really important, is to find the right stock. You don't want to day trade a stock that has low volume. And the reason being is you get into that stock and now you can't get out. Well, that's a real problem. So you need high volume. You need high volume that day. I think that's really important that you consider that when looking at it. I definitely suggest having a plan and going through a course and learning from somebody who knows how to do it. And always start in a simulator. I like Thinkorswim as a simulator. I think that's a very good one to choose from. Anyway, let's get to the list because we have so much to cover. And so I want to kind of get into the nitty gritty here. Let's start with number 7, which is CHS. CHS had insider buys by the CFO, the senior vice president, and another senior vice president. I feel really good that this stock is going to make a nice move up. So far it really hasn't yet, but we're only been in it for one day. You saw me kind of call that out on Stocktwits so that you got into that pretty early. I'm expecting great things from CHS. It is way undervalued. I remember owning this. I know they got a buyout offer at $7 a share and did not take it. They probably should have. Number 6 is TRVN. TRVN has a PDUFA date coming up August 7th. And it's for severe acute pain, and it's the second time around. Let me tell you about what's great about the second time around. The second time around, you can take a look at what was going on in their CRL, and you can see if they've really gone through and checked off those lists by being part of the earnings reports. So I like TRVN a lot. Also, some of the guys I talk with on Stocktwits a lot, they like it too, and that's Captain Fatballs. And when he likes a stock, I tend to really pay attention and be a part of it. And then number 5 is ABEO. ABEO has phase data coming up, and it's going to be between July 10th and July 12th. I like ABEO for a nice move up until then. We should see a really nice move up as it goes. So that's number 5. Number 4 is VOLT. VOLT had insider buys by 2 different officers. One at $1.28 and another one at $1.29. This is very bullish on it. It's shot up today a few times, but then I kind of came back to right around where I paid for it. I'm expecting great things out of Volt. It was a great choice for us before, and I expect it to be a great choice going forward. Number 3, KIRK. My wife loves Kirkland's, and anytime I see insider buys, I tend to do really well with this particular pick. Now, the insider buys were by the CFO and the CEO. And one thing I really like when a CFO buys is no one has a better understanding of the financial picture of a company than a chief financial officer. And so when they buy into a stock using their own money, that's a very good stock to pick. So far, had a great day in it. A little lower volume, so I kind of had to do something a little different as far as my entry point went in on it. I went in 3 different times. So I bought the dip once with 1/3 of the money I was planning on using for that. Then I found another dip and I saw the perfect entry point. And then I bought again with 2/3 at that point. And then I went in a 3rd time and bought again. And that really worked for me. I got a really good average. It's a really good way to buy that way. Sometimes a stock will dip way down and just put it all in if you find the right entry point. And if you haven't already checked out my entry point video, please go through it and check it out. It's very worthwhile. And you might learn something on how I like to go into a stock. All right, number 2. Number 2, I had a rough day and a lot of people were really stressed out. And to all those people that stressed out over INO, I want to say, relax, take it easy. I think this is going to be great. I added quite a bit actually today. I took a couple of the dips, and when I saw that low of day, once I waited for the entry point, I entered in. And so I was able to buy some more shares. Today, this stock was really kind of manipulated because today was the end of the 2nd quarter of 2020. And so there are a lot of fund managers and different professionals that really want to show a profit to their clients. And so they'll sell off stocks that they're way up in, and INO definitely was that case. I really think that that's what really drove the price today. And Captain Fatballs had talked a lot about that also, and I followed that, and he was talking about that. It just makes a lot of sense, and I really think that's what happened. Hopefully you got in and you got to pick up some of those great prices, because I think tomorrow is going to be blockbuster. And the reason why I think it's going to be is because of the SSR rule, so the short sale rule. To those that don't know, anytime a stock drops more than 10%, the next day, short sellers can't start a short position. Now, the reason why the SEC does this is to keep a stock from being shorted to oblivion. It's a very good rule in my opinion. I love it because I'm a bull. I'm always bullish on stocks. That SSR rule, people not being able to open a new short position, should really kind of push us up. And also, INO is a stock that's been surging. So I think a big time short squeeze is going to happen tomorrow, because I think that with the news that we got today, there's no reason why it should be like it is. It definitely was manipulated downward, but you can take advantage of that kind of stuff. So short squeeze tomorrow, look for it. I think we're going to do well with it, and so I'm excited. Okay, so we have a new number 1, and I have been wrong on this stock. Originally, with my original thesis on this, I felt that TTOO was worth $5 a share. I was very convinced, and at that time it was trading at about $1.30, $1.40. And I wrote it up for a little bit, and then it didn't really perform well from where I bought it. And then also I became nervous because they put a reverse split on the agenda for a vote coming up in August. Well, there was a lot of time till then, and I should have just calmed down, but I did, and I sold it. I was wrong. So I'm just going to say it. I was wrong. I misjudged this one. But I'm smart enough to realize I was wrong and buy in. This evening, they announced they're shipping their tests, and they got an emergency use authorization. This is huge, huge, huge news. I definitely went in. I started buying shares, and I was messaging anyone that followed me on Stocktwits, hey, pay attention to this. This is something worthwhile. They are finally shipping the test. So I think that my original thesis, the $5 price target at least, I think, for this stock. And it really could shoot up. It could be another Codex. And anyone who doesn't know about CODX, it went from like $1 earlier this year on news all the way up to, gosh, it was at 33 bucks, 34 bucks at one point. Just a huge windfall. I'd made good money on it. And I just think TTOO is another one of those type of situations. Their test seems to be very good. It's very accurate, and I think it's something needed. And I think that once we get full FDA approval, this thing will even really shoot up. I really like TTOO for a big move up. Excited about what's going to happen tomorrow, so I'll be watching that closely. I do a lot of work for this list. So if you could do me a huge favor and hit that most amazing and wonderful like button, I very much appreciate it. Also, if you haven't done so, if you could please subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out, and it keeps me going to make these videos and do all this research. I am so excited for big things to come, and if you don't follow me on Stocktwits, follow me. And also subscribe to my posts so you can get the newest and latest and greatest of some of the things that I'm thinking throughout the trading day. I appreciate being able to converse with all of you. I hope we all have a fantastic trading day tomorrow. And if you happen to have any questions, I'll do my best to answer, but during trading hours, it is kind of tough for me to answer. And the reason being is because I'm trading myself and I'm watching my own stocks and doing different things. Today, pretty good day. Let's have a better day tomorrow. And Raythoven out.